Hey, Heritage 8th graders, I am here to give you some tips as we start our remote learning activities. I'm actually pretty excited because I've been teaching a really long time, and there's not much that's new when you've taught for a really long time. And all of this is new and exciting and interesting. So I was trying to think as I'm putting stuff together for my own kids, and you guys all know they're a third grader and a first grader. So they're starting the same process that you are, getting information from their teachers, and we're having to figure out like how do we do it and what do we do. So I wrote down some things to get us started, and I thought I would share those with you. I also wanted to share a poem with you today. So if you can bear with me and watch the video, hopefully this will be some good information for you. Took some notes. So welcome to remote learning. We're excited. Your teachers are so excited. We're like ready to see you guys and miss you guys. And last week was like really, really intense with us trying to put lessons together and trying to figure out what can you do at home and what could you do independently, because we know a lot of you have siblings that you have to share computers with, and you have parents who are still having to go to work, or your parents may be working from home, so they're having to share their computer with you. And we know that there's all kinds of obstacles that are going on. So we're trying to figure out what can you do to keep learning without just overwhelming you and your family with stuff, with more stuff to deal with and stuff to do. So here are my hints, my tips to try to make this process a little bit easier. Okay, tip number 1, make a study space. Okay, it doesn't have to be a big area, but make an area where you're keeping all of your study materials together. So if you print the packet, or if you go pick one up, or if you're just working digitally, even if you're working digitally, you're probably going to have some stuff that you're writing down on scratch paper. Keep all of that as much as you can in one place and keep it together. If you need to move it, maybe get a box that you can throw everything into the same box, so that it doesn't get spread throughout your house, because that's what I'm afraid of at my house. Even, markers and pens and pencils and stuff have a study area that you set up and kind of can keep everything together. Number 2, work at your own pace. Don't try to get through this packet. This is a 10-day packet. And I know some of you will be like, I'm going to get it done today. Don't try to get it all done in one day, but work at your own pace. So if you want to do day 1 and 2 of English, because English is your favorite subject, and you want to do day 1 and 2 today, and tomorrow you want to do day 1 and 2 of social studies, that's actually okay. We're not necessarily going to be taking stuff up as you do it. So our deadlines are a little bit more flexible. The other thing that might help with, if you run into a point of confusion, say in your English, you're looking at something, you're like, I don't really understand these instructions, or I'm not sure what to do. Email Mrs. Wood and say, hey, I need clarification on this assignment on the day 3, part 2. And as you're waiting for me to get back, you may go ahead and keep working through another subject. And I'll get back to you as quick as I can. Number 3, take breaks. Okay. So hopefully you guys know that when you're in a study zone, you shouldn't be sitting there texting the whole time, because your brain is actually only focused on one thing at a time. Okay. And when you're asking your brain to go back and forth, every time it needs a few seconds to reset. So if you say, I'm going to study or do an assignment, and I'm going to set my timer for 15, 20 minutes, and then I'm going to take a 5-minute break. And during that 5-minute break, I'm going to check my text. I'm going to talk to people. I'm going to walk around, and then I'm going to sit back down for another 20 minutes. Make sure you're giving yourself breaks. Okay. Otherwise, it's going to get really, really hard and really, really boring. Stand up and get some moving around time, definitely. Okay. Or you're going to get stiff, your body's going to hurt, you're not going to be happy. Okay. Tip 4, and this is the final one. 4, be patient. Please be patient. Be patient with yourself, because you have not been in school for a couple of weeks, and it's going to take a few minutes to get back in the groove. Be patient with your teachers, because we've never done this before, and we're going to try really hard. But today might be stressful. as we go forward, we're gonna refine things. We're gonna get things better. Be patient with your parents. Okay, they're dealing with a whole lot, and they're gonna try to help you as well as they can, but it may not be their primary concern right now. They've got a lot going on. You may be taking on a lot more responsibility. For example, my kids, because I've been working from home, are having to figure out a little bit more how to be self-sufficient. They're not used to getting their own snacks. They're not used to hanging things up on the line outside when we're doing laundry, and they're learning how to do that because I'm working from home, so I need them to help me more. So be patient with those wonderful people who are raising you. And even our administrators, our superintendent, our principals, they are, doing great things. They're moving mountains to make sure learning keeps happening. So we just all need to be patient as information is coming out. We can do this together, okay? And we are here to help you. So instead of being frustrated, reach out to us. Your homeroom teacher is kind of going to be your key. They're going to take your attendance. They're going to be kind of your first line of contact for general stuff, but contact any of your teachers. If you're not, if it's subject specific, definitely contact any of your teacher for that subject. And if you're not, getting a response or something, contact anyone. Okay. Know that we do have meetings through the day. So we're going to have to log in online and do some meetings. During those meetings, which right now are set at 9 and 2:30 every day, we probably won't immediately respond to emails or pick up our phones because we're trying to listen and get the information that we need to keep moving. And then finally, I was going to share, we read this poem in Pre-AP earlier this year, but I think it's taken on a new meaning. This was one of the poems that you guys read and you did a TP cast of. It's called If by Rudyard Kipling. And Kipling is the person who wrote the Jungle Book. So if you remember watching that when you were a kid, or they've made a live action movie about it too. So I was just going to share a poem with you today. If by Rudyard Kipling. If you can keep your head when all about you are losing theirs and blaming it on you. If you can trust yourself when all men doubt you, but make allowance for their doubting too. If you can wait and not be tired by waiting, or being lied about, don't deal in lies. Or being hated, don't give way to hating. And yet, don't look too good or talk too wise. If you can dream and not make dreams your master, if you can think and not make thoughts your aim, if you can meet with triumph and disaster and treat those two impostors just the same, if you can bear to hear the truth you've spoken twisted by knaves to make a trap for fools, or watch the things you gave your life to broken, and stoop and build them up with worn out tools. If you can make keep of all your winnings and risk it on one turn of pitch and toss, and lose, and start again at your beginnings, and never breathe a word about your loss. If you can force your heart and nerve and sinew to serve your turn long after they are gone, and so hold on when there is nothing in you except the will which says to them, hold on. If you can talk with crowds and keep your virtue, or walk with kings, nor lose the common touch, if neither foes nor loving friends can hurt you, if all men count with you, but none too much. If you can fill the unforgiving minute with 60 seconds worth of distance run, yours is the earth and everything that's in it. And, which is more, you'll be a man, my son. Okay. So I really like that poem because it speaks to if you can handle adversity, if you can handle problems with the same grace and with the same strength that you handle things when they're easy, then that is what growing up is all about. And I think at this time, you guys are being called on to grow up in a way that's a little quicker, maybe a little harsher than for some of you, than any of us as adults would wish for you. But we know that you have a strength and you can handle it and you can stay positive through this. So just know that we're thinking about you, and we are here to help you. And as we get started today, we really want to welcome you and let you know that we're excited to see you again, even if it's virtually. So holler at us if you need anything. Holler at us if you just can say hi. And we look forward to seeing you virtually. Take care.